Welcome to the major events of Afghanistan on Monday, July 28. The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs has warned that Afghanistan is facing increasing climate-related rainfall this summer. Based on information from the Early Warning Systems Network, OCHA has issued a definite warning about the worsening situation, stating that high temperatures and limited rainfall in the coming months could lead to a severe shortage of water. Watch the full report on these warnings and their impact on the lives of the people of Afghanistan here.
The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, has warned that Afghanistan will face escalating consequences of the climate crisis this summer, including drought and unprecedented heat, the risk of floods, and a significant decline in agricultural yields and livestock production. In a recent report released by OCHA on Sunday, July 27th, based on information from the Famine Early Warning Systems Network, warnings have been issued about the worsening situation in some areas. The report states that high temperatures and low rainfall in the coming months may lead to a severe shortage of water. According to OCHA, this issue, especially from July to September, could put significant pressure on the livestock sector and threaten the livelihoods of thousands of families who depend on it. It goes on to say that at the same time, many areas of Afghanistan will experience above-average rainfall, which, although it can help alleviate some of the drought, will also increase the risk of floods. According to this report, the month of June was marked by below-average rainfall and higher-than-normal temperatures across the country, and the low and widespread levels of snow water equivalent in various parts of the country are a serious sign of the worsening situation of water resources. It goes on to say that prior to this, until the end of May, a significant decrease in soil moisture had a direct negative impact on wheat crops that depend on natural rainfall. According to this assessment, the provinces of Baghuz, Ghor, Faryab, Sari-Pol, Samangan, Baghlan, Takhar, Badakhshan, Daikundi, Bamyan, Parwan, and Kabul are among the provinces that have suffered the most climate-related damage by the end of June. Meanwhile, a farmer from Baghuz province, who did not want his name mentioned in the report, says about this. This year in Baghuz, things didn't turn out as well as they should have compared to other years. Maybe only about 20 to 30% of households have managed to farm, but the other 70% haven't been able to plant anything, and the yields of cumin, wheat, and other crops are down. It just hasn't turned out the way it should have. Syed Abdul Basit Rahmani, an environmental and water resources expert, says that Afghanistan is currently experiencing rapid negative climate change, and that not enough is being done to address the country's response to climate change, a response that requires investment, financial resources, scientific expertise, and cooperation from developed countries. He said that continued neglect of this issue will have irreversible consequences for the people of Afghanistan.
If nothing is done in this area, migration will certainly increase, environmental problems will arise, jobs will be lost, and social and security issues, as well as other peripheral problems that can destroy a society, will emerge, making it impossible to remedy these issues in the short term.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Special Representative of the United Nations in Afghanistan has warned that if the world does not quickly turn to the use of clean energy, Afghanistan will face even more severe environmental, economic, and humanitarian crises. In a video published on July 27th on the X page of the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, UNAMA, Indrika Ratwat emphasized that weak infrastructure, Afghanistan's limited access to reliable energy, and the large-scale return of migrants have worsened this situation.
The president of Iran has announced that he is ready to visit Afghanistan if suitable conditions are provided. According to the Iranian Presidency, Pezeshkian emphasized the need to strengthen relations with neighboring countries, including Afghanistan, and added that by improving and enhancing relations with neighbors, it becomes possible to accomplish significant and effective work. Watch this report for more details.
The president of Iran has announced that if the right conditions are met, he is ready to travel to Afghanistan to open a new chapter in relations between the two countries. Masoud Zashkian, speaking at a meeting with employees of Iran's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, expressed these remarks and voiced support for expanding relations and cooperation with Afghanistan. In a statement published on the website of the Iranian presidency on Saturday, July 25th, it was stated that the president of Iran, emphasizing the need to strengthen relations with neighboring countries, including Afghanistan, added that improving relations with neighbors makes it possible to accomplish significant and effective work. He called on merchants, cultural figures, academic staff, and other individuals in the country to make greater efforts in this regard. The president of Iran also pointed out the cultural, linguistic, and religious commonalities between Iran and Afghanistan, emphasizing that the utmost care must be taken in regulating the status of Afghan migrants so that, as a result of negligence or possible shortcomings, no negative perceptions toward Afghans are created. It is worth noting that the Iranian government has not yet recognized the Taliban government, but maintains close diplomatic relations with them. Masoud Zashkian, the president of Iran, made these remarks at a time when the process of mass deportation of Afghans, which began some time ago, is continuing intensively. Some Afghan migrants in Iran, as well as those who have recently returned, say they have faced inappropriate and insulting behavior from the police and some Iranian citizens. An Afghan who has recently returned from Iran to Afghanistan, and whose identity has been withheld in this report due to sensitivity, said on the condition that his voice be altered.
They treated Afghans very badly.
Afghans were in a very bad situation. The Iranian government and people looked at them with contempt. In shops and bakeries, they wouldn't even give Afghans a basket, and they would insult and humiliate them.
At the same time, Afghan migrants currently living in Iran also have similar complaints. One of them, whose name is also withheld in this report, says,
"The problems of the migrants are endless. It's been 10 or 30 days that we haven't been able to go to our shops. We sent one of our friends to check on things. Today, we went to the shop. One or two people treated them very badly. Some openly said, Afghans are traitors, Afghans are like this. The situation of migrants in Iran right now is very dire. Young people who are out and about get stopped and threatened."
An increasing number of human rights defenders continue to express concern about the way Afghan migrants are being treated in Iran. Yunus Mohammadi, a member of the Committee of Migration Experts in the European Commission, with
This time, the deportation of Afghans is happening in a much harsher and more brutal manner. We even see the behavior of Iranian people against Afghan migrants in the streets, the conduct of the Iranian police in the camps, and even the attitude of politicians who, in a very formal and aggressive tone, actually encourage these actions and behaviors. And in my opinion, this is extremely dangerous.
Meanwhile, several international organizations have reported that Afghan migrants, after returning to Afghanistan from Iran, also face mistreatment by the Taliban. The United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, or UNAMA, and the UN Human Rights Office have stated in a report that returning Afghans face the risk of torture, arbitrary detention, and security threats. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, or UNHCR, says that from the beginning of this year until July 30th, more than 1,684,000 people have been returned from Iran, which has added to Afghanistan's humanitarian crisis.
Women and girls living in Kabul say that the recent arrests by the Taliban have imposed even stricter restrictions on their daily lives. According to eyewitness accounts from Kabul, this situation could create even more immediate problems for Afghan girls and women. Watch this detailed report on the situation and its impact on families here.
I work at a clinic myself, but on days when I feel it's dangerous, I have to stay at home, treat my patients, and remain at home.
She is one of the residents of the Timani area in Kabul City. She, who is a doctor and did not want her name to be revealed due to the sensitivity of the matter, said that in recent weeks, the Ministry for the Promotion of Virtue and Prevention of Vice of the Taliban government, through its agents, has increased the detention of women and girls, making their lives even darker and further restricting their movement outside the home.
My mother tells me, "My child, don't go to work today or tomorrow. Wait until things calm down, then go to work in the afternoon. Don't get involved in any trouble at school." And all these families have this right as well, because when Dr. Sahib calls and says, "Dear Sahib, I can't come today," Dr. Sahib insists a lot and tells me, My child, it's your duty to come in any situation. Patients come to see you. But I also consider it my duty to protect myself and the honor and reputation of my family, so that I don't run into trouble outside. Because even if a girl hasn't done anything, she can get caught up in the situation. Of course, this is Afghanistan. Such a girl will be labeled with a name.
Another woman living in the Kirkana area, District 11 of Kabul, who works outside the home and, due to a similar issue, did not want her name or workplace mentioned in the report, said,
I've seen the current situation with my own eyes. These past few days, there have been women, even those who wear hijab, who walk with confidence and determination and speak with resolve. Those women are being pressured so that more women stay at home, so that girls and women don't end up in miserable situations, being stared at, picked up in cars, or treated badly by guys who act like predators. Of course, I've witnessed that this issue affects families.
This woman claimed that 2 days ago, the Taliban didn't allow her to go home from work in a taxi without a male guardian, and she was forced to wait on the street for 4 hours until she could go with a family in a private car. A woman living in the Puli-Sirk area of Kabul's District 3, who also did not want her identity revealed, said that the recent situation has frightened them and their families so much that they don't even dare to go out for important daily tasks, and their home has turned into a prison for them. She says this situation could cause even more psychological problems for Afghan girls and women. This situation is really bad. They are arresting women. Personally, we are very afraid that if we go outside, something might happen. The atmosphere in society has become very suffocating. Families say, don't go out too much because they are taking women away. Our request is that women not be treated this way, and that society doesn't become so restrictive that we're even afraid of our own shadow. These girls and women are asking the international community to hear their voices and put pressure on the Taliban to end this situation. Some human rights activists consider this situation alarming and see it as an attempt to completely erase women from society. They emphasize that the consequences of this situation will be irreparable. Fahim Farrow, a member of the Human Rights Activists Union, said,
This kind of social imprisonment is imposed on women without walls, but with threats and fear, which takes away their right to freedom, the right to work, the right to education, and the right to participate. With this approach, the Taliban are first and foremost creating a misogynistic and backward society. From a human rights perspective, this process should be recognized as a planned and systematic violation of women's rights.
These concerns are being raised as, in the past 2 weeks, a number of women and families have spoken to various media outlets, including Radio Azadi, saying that they have been arrested and imprisoned by the officers of the Taliban's Ministry for the Promotion of Virtue and Prevention of Vice, accused of not observing hijab, not having a male guardian, or for other unknown reasons. Videos have also been shared on social media showing women and girls crying and pleading at the time of their arrest. However, the time and location of these videos are not clear. Saif al-Islam Khyber, the spokesperson for the Taliban government's Ministry for the Promotion of Virtue and Prevention of Vice, has not responded to these claims. However, in interviews with some international media outlets, he has denied the arrest and imprisonment of women, saying that only since a month ago, as part of a campaign for hijab, they have been advising women and girls in public places. Richard Bennett, the UN Special Rapporteur on the situation of human rights in Afghanistan, expressed concern in a statement on his X page on July 21st, saying that these actions are part of the Taliban's systematic policies to suppress women. The United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan also warned on the same day that such incidents further isolate women and girls from society and, by creating an atmosphere of fear, undermine public trust.
The Afghanistan national cricket team is preparing to participate in the Asia Cup tournament. Afghanistan's first match in Group B will be against the teams of Hong Kong, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, and if Afghanistan wins 2 of these matches, it will advance to the top 4 stage. More details in this report.
Afghanistan will play its first match in Group B of the Asia Cup cricket tournament against Hong Kong on September 9th, against Bangladesh on September 16th, and against Sri Lanka on September 23rd. If Afghanistan wins 2 matches in the first round, it will advance to the Super 4 stage. Some Afghan cricket fans say they hope the Afghanistan national cricket team will make it to the final match of the Asia Cup this year. Mir Ahmad from Sanda, Kabul, said,
"Considering the current situation of our national team,
we are hopeful for our national team's brilliant performance in the Asia Cup. We have waited a long time. After the Champions Trophy, our team will once again be seen in a major tournament. God willing, the Afghan players will achieve great results. We hope the team will reach the semifinals and even the final."
Suleiman from Sanda, Jalalabad, also says that Afghanistan's team has secured a place among the renowned teams in Asia and is on track to deliver a strong performance.
Everyone is gathering with high hopes.
The Asia Cup is a major tournament. Powerful teams are participating in it. But this time, we hope our team will win the championship. We're not just hoping for a good game, we're hoping for the championship. Because Afghanistan has the ability. We have already defeated some of the world's biggest and strongest teams,
who announced their intention to participate in the Cup.
The Asian Cricket Council has announced that this unprecedented tournament will begin on September 9th and continue until the 28th of the same month. India, Pakistan, the United Arab Emirates, and Oman are in Group A of this tournament. Although these matches were supposed to be held in India, political tensions between Pakistan and India have led to a change in the venue. Meanwhile, some Afghan cricket analysts and enthusiasts say that although there is still about a month and a half left until the start of the tournament, the Afghanistan Cricket Board should start working on the team from now so that they can perform well in the competition. They add that even selecting a good squad for the tournament may not necessarily lead to positive results. This is the 17th edition of the Asia Cup, and Afghanistan managed to participate in this tournament for the first time in 2014. Although the Afghan team has not yet reached the final stage of these competitions, this year fans and analysts are hopeful that the team can make it to the last stage or the final. In 2023, Afghanistan was grouped with Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, but failed to secure a victory against either team. The Asia Cup competitions are organized by the Asian Cricket Council. These matches were held for the first time in 1984 at the Sharjah Stadium in the United Arab Emirates. After that, these competitions are usually held every 4 or 2 years, but sometimes they have been delayed due to political issues or other obstacles. Most of the time, the teams from India, Sri Lanka, or Pakistan have won this cup. The Indian team has so far claimed the championship trophy of these competitions 8 times. Sri Lanka has won the championship 6 times, and Pakistan has managed to win it twice.
End of the news.